Hey guys, what's up? Cute dog. Today is going to be a really interesting conversation. I'm going to cut to a conversation I had with someone in the identity resonance program where we talked about the power of being present and the importance of it and how it relates to things like productivity, manifestation, and all those things. And in this conversation, we also touch on the importance of depedestalizing your goals, depedestalizing your desires so that you actually, you know, can see the mundaneness in your ideal life or the things you want to have. And in that video, I also allude to the fact that, hey, like the life I live now, although it's great, there's mundane things to it. And when I was striving for a life like I have now, I didn't really see that. I think it's a very important thing for us to remember. That way we understand that, yeah, it's achievable and it's not like this grandiose kind of thing. So really great conversation on the present moment. Definitely watch until the end, and we'll cut to it.
Okay, so first things first, just remember that the present moment is a state of mind. Well, let me explain. Physically, you're always in the present moment, obviously. Like your body's always in the present moment, it's always in the now. The reason why I say it's a state of mind is because your body can be here in the now, but your mind is in the past or the future. So, because of that, you're not able to enjoy the things all around you. Maybe there's great, beautiful scenery around you, like a nice flower. Yes, that's a flower. Because you're not present, like you don't really intake the beauty of the flower. So the goal of being present is that it makes your meditations better, it makes your visualizations better, but it definitely makes you happier because a lot of people's you know frustrations come from the past or the future. Maybe some anxieties about the future, some frustrations of the past. So presence is the key here. Now, of course, there's going to be times where you have to think about the past, you have to think about the future. I get that. But you want to make a habit of being as present as possible in the now. And I say this because, especially with the life purposes you're doing and where you want to head in life, you're going to have days where some days are going to be tougher than other days. And I say this from experience. Some days are going to be tougher than other days. So you have to make the habit of coming back into the present moment and then focusing on what you need to get done to continue on. Because it's easy to be like, oh man, I didn't close that deal, or oh, this person didn't get back to me, or oh, this thing is coming up, this thing is coming up. And it's going to throw you off your game. And what happens is, especially because we talk about productivity requires, like for you to be productive, it requires almost like a still mind where your emotions are not too low on the negative side. Like it's easy to be productive when you're in a good mood, but it's hard to be productive when you're like not in the best mood.
Mm.
So being present, meditation, things like that can lend into productivity because it's more of a chance that you're gonna be in that neutrality state of consciousness, if not the blissful joy, peace, joy, and love states of consciousness that we talked about.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm like not feeling well, not feeling productive, or not coming into that workflow, I'm
Hmm.
usually thinking too much about like the future. Like, okay, this needs to be happen, this needs to be happen, and that's so
Hmm.
overwhelming. But at that moment, sometimes I do not realize it's about just being in the moment. Like, it sounds so
Exactly.
cliche, but it's so true.
Exactly. And this gets deeper too. Wait, hold on. Let me first do this. I'm just going to write this on the side, and then I'll talk about the next thing. Sentences. Okay, this gets deeper. Now,
Yeah.
let's talk about visualization and the present moment.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've ever worded it how I'm about to word it because like it just all clicked in my head how to word this. So, man, you might be the first one to hear about how I'm going to word this. This is pretty cool. Okay, so when you're visualizing, that is also a present moment, even if it's in the future. Why do I say that? It's because that's what you're experiencing. It's not the present moment in the 3D world, but it's the present moment in that world. And that's why it's called, for example, the quantum field. It's a realm where everything is possible. There's all sorts of possibilities. So when you visualize a possibility, you're in that present moment, incorporating the five senses with realism. That's why you feel a positive emotion, and that's why it comes into 3D reality. It's because you've technically already experienced it in the present moment. Now, here's the thing. Let's say this is you. This is the version of you that's visualizing, and then this is the 3D ego version of you. So the 3D ego version of you is doing the visualizing. So, he's visualizing. He's visualizing like this potential right here. In his present moment, he's visualizing. This is a present moment that's visualizing. The problem is sometimes the ego comes out of the visualization, like it doesn't the visualization, you get a bit distracted. Maybe you think about some problem you have in your physical world or whatever, and you come out of the visualization. Now you're no longer present in the visualization. And in fact, you're not even present in the 3D because you're thinking about the past or the future. So the key here is to be present in the 3D so that it's easier to be present in the quantum field. And this visualization, the quantum field, you want to act as if, you want to act as if it's the only thing that exists in that moment. And I say that because what does the ego do? Oh, that can't happen because of this. That's not possible because of this. Well, in the past, this happened, so that's hard to believe. This is hard to believe, so on and so forth. It creates these like barriers or it adds these stories to the fray. When in truth, what may be difficult to imagine right now doesn't mean it's difficult. Oh, you good?
Yeah, I'm still alive.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
Okay. Yeah. What may be difficult to imagine right now for you doesn't mean it's difficult to experience in a future version of you. So, in our visualization exercise, what you'll notice is I'll tell you to pick a timeline within the next year or so, or 2 years or so. I say that because I want like a specific timeline for you to be in so that you can practice allowing that timeline to actually exist. And so that your ego doesn't say that's not possible because XYZ.
True. Yeah.
And yeah, I'm glad this makes a lot of sense. And that's pretty much it right there. Like the goal here is to immerse yourself completely in that world. And it's especially easy when in the physical world now you are more on the present side. And also, here's the thing. Um, like you want to have presence and open-mindedness. Open-mindedness of the possibilities of all the things possible. Because again, when you're visualizing, it's a realm of creation. So it's going to require that open-mindedness of, oh yeah, I could definitely see myself doing that or accomplishing this or having this car and being present with it so that you can feel those senses. When you're driving that Mercedes, there's senses involved. What you see, what you touch, the wind you feel, the sounds. You can get creative with it too. I mean, you could visualize yourself driving a Mercedes, feeling the wind, hand on the steering wheel, your favorite song playing. Maybe you bought some Subway and you smell the Subway in the car,
Yeah,
you know?
that's good. It's really You said like one time, like imagine yourself in your Mercedes just doing like the groceries, to like
Exactly.
make it so natural.
Exactly. And that leads me to the next thing related to the future timeline exercise is you want to have the five senses
Involved.
plus the mundane. The mundane is normal things that help depedestalize the thing you want to head towards. Like like for example, in the realm of business, some people glorify like certain revenue levels in given months. Well,
Mm.
guess what? A lot of business models, if you're making more money, you're probably there's probably more things you need to do, or there's more things you need to fix,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
or people you need to hire. If you're doing less, that's cool. Making more money but doing less, but you got to hire people. Oh, but you got to manage a little bit more.
yeah, yeah. That
So,
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, so the yin and yang. If this yin and yang represents positive and negative, let's just color that black, and then this is let's pretend this is all black here.
Mhm.
Like all of our desires, let's say this is represents desires. There's things about it that aren't the best that you probably don't even like that much. And then the things we don't like, there's things about it that are good.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautifully said. Yeah.
So what that Mercedes you like, you want to have, you love it, right? Well, you still got to take it in for maintenance. You still got to clean it. Hey, sometimes you got to replace some parts maybe. When you think about that, does it become this magical car? Not really anymore, but you still like it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You still
True,
enjoy it.
true.
But it's like, oh yeah, it's a car. Even if it costs whatever amount, I still
Yeah.
have to do this. I still have to do
I,
that.
I already feel like, oh my god, I have to clean this car. I don't feel like cleaning the fucking car, but okay, I
Yeah.
will.
And that's the mundane. The mundane is key because it does so much. This is what the mundane does. I just talked about it. It depedestalizes, but it also, however you spell it, it depedestalizes, but it also relates to present day reality. What I mean by that is it incorporates things you're already doing right now. Everybody has to clean to some degree,
Yeah.
you know. Everybody really goes grocery shopping to some degree. All of these things. The life I'm living right now, back then, I remember pedestalizing. And I'm like, it's great, but there are things about it. I'm like, oh, I gotta get this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. And
Yeah.
I bet you it's the same thing in the future, even if it's quote unquote more success.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why you gotta remember the quote, like, problems never go away. They just change.
Oh, I remember you were had a, like you made like a video about it, or like you made a post about it on YouTube a few times
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, I did a post about it.
Yeah.
Problems never go away, they just change. And you get better at handling them too. And if you look at this, you'll notice it from a big scale to a small scale. A small scale, I think in my post, I gave the example of if your car is running out of gas,
Yeah.
that's a problem. When you go to the gas tank to fill it up, you fix that problem. But the new problem is you have 20 or 40 less dollars to your name. Now, to some people, that might not be a problem. Like, okay, what's $20? What's $40? Still, it's still something created that you probably have to replenish it somehow.
Yeah.
So let's say someone needs to replenish the $40. Okay, let's say they go cut some lawns. Okay, they cut some lawns. What's the new problem? Now they're really tired after cutting those lawns. Now they're sweating. They have to go shower. Fix that problem, and then they're resting. right? Well, they couldn't get to something they wanted to get to because they were too tired. That's a new problem. Guess what? They got to do it the next day. So they always happen. They just,
Yeah,
but when
true.
we elevate, our problems just change. That's all it is.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So we talked about how the ego plays a role in this. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's get into the future timeline visualization.
Джем веда.